Hello everybody, Phil here. Welcome to another episode of Rig Spotlight. Today we're talking about Psychonauts. Have you heard of Psychonauts? This shit is insane, like literally out of its gourd. And I'm feeling a little Freudian about it. This game is thick with cult classic material and it's delightfully twisted. So without further ado, let's hop in. Full disclaimer guys, I'm about to spoil the whole plot of this game, so if you don't want spoilers, jump to this time code in the video. Meet Rasputin Aquato, or Raz for short, a highly motivated kid with psychic powers eager to earn his way into the Psychonauts, who are a group of powerful psychics that fight the forces of mental evil. He runs away from home to join a summer camp for psychics because his father forbids him from using his powers, claiming psychics killed his family. But Raz has his own dreams, so he sets off to achieve them in the quickest way he can, by training and earning merit badges to become a full-fledged Psychonaut. But before we move on, can we just take a moment to check out the art style of this game? It's freaking brilliant! The characters have a Tim Burton high school sketchbook feel, the environment is full of life and character. Just look at it! Look at it! Sorry. Anyway, so Raz tries to sneak into Camp Whispering Rock and is caught by the Psychonauts and is told he can stay until his parents arrive to pick him up and refuse that he participates in any of the camp activities. They do, however, let him take part in Coach Oleander's basic braining, aka the tutorial level, which he easily passes. Impressed by his performance, an agent by the name of Sasha 9 invites Raz to take part in an experiment to determine the extent of Raz's powers. In doing so, they discover something strange about Raz's psyche. There seems to be something dark lurking there, and Raz is determined to figure out what it is. But he needs a few psychic abilities to do so. So, he earns the Marksmanship badge, which gives him the Psi Blast ability from Sasha and a Levitate from a very groovy Psychonaut named Mila. Raz then returns to his mine to find a large thorny tower he has to climb. At the top, he finds a camper named Dugan, a strange boy who wears a tinfoil hat and has a bit of an unstable personality and a serious issue with squirrels.
No! I would never do that. I could never kill everyone. Oh! Hi, Raz.
Squirrel trouble?
There are liars is all. Whatever they tell you, it's a lie.
I'll take your word for it. You going to class?
Yeah, I'll meet you up there. As soon as I get these guys to shut up.
Yeah, that's nice. And an evil dentist named Dr. Lobato, who is attempting to remove Dugan's brain, he does so with a supercharged sneezing powder and then tosses it down in the garbage chute. Raz goes after it and he is faced with the game's first major boss, the Brain Tank, a literal tank with Dugan's brain in it. The fight is pretty straightforward. Avoid its shots and confusion bombs, wait for it to expose its green underbelly, and shoot away with your Psi Blast. Do this a couple times and the tank will explode, but the brain will remain, starting a second phase of the fight. The brain will continue to lob confusion bombs at you, but the real threat is its laser beams, which do a good amount of damage. So dodge the beams, avoid the bombs, give it a few good smacks, and you'll destroy it. At this point, Raz finds himself in a strange white corridor he originally stumbles upon at the end of Oleander's basic braining exercise. Oh, foreshadowing. Raz then is quickly pulled out of Sasha's brain tumbler, and Sasha tells Raz he needs to leave for official Psychonauts business and leaves in a highly suspect manner. He leaves behind a small door-looking device called the Psycho Portal, which allows Raz to hop into the minds of others. Very useful. Raz also finds that Mila has gone missing as well. He meets up with Lily, a slightly mysterious girl that has the hots for Raz but isn't quite ready to admit it yet. They discuss the situations and clues they found and come to the conclusion that Coach Oleander is trying to take over the world by stealing the campers' brains and turning them into brain tanks. That is some seriously crazy shit right there. So they get ready to head out to find the coach, but suddenly a grotesque mutated lungfish captures Lily and Raz must face his ultimate fear of water. Yeah, Raz can't swim, but it's not that he just can't swim. Apparently his family is cursed and they are destined to drown in deep water, aka we didn't want to program swimming mechanics, so we'll give it a backstory. Using a vessel called the Bathysphere, he goes after the thieving lungfish. He ends up in a conveniently large bubble underwater and faces off against the lungfish. This boss fight was probably one of my favorites because it's super unique. In the first phase, Raz tosses boxes of nails at it while it sucks in the air of the bubble, making the bubble smaller, so you have to toss them in a quick manner. Hit them enough times and you start a chase sequence involving quick platforming while staying in the confines of the bubble. After a few of these sequences, you find yourself facing off with the lungfish face to face, and you must trap it using some conveniently placed clams. Once trapped, Raz finds that the lungfish no longer has Lily, but Ford Kohler informs Raz that the monster was once a regular lungfish that must have been mutated and brainwashed by Oleander and Lobato. Using our handy-dandy psycho portal, Raz jumps into the lungfish's mind. Raz finds himself monstrously large, and the level plays out a lot like a Japanese Sentai movie. Raz is the monster, destroying a city full of lungfish, and an Ultraman-like character clearly resembling Oleander tries to stop him from freeing the lungfish's memories. After a pretty easy dodge and attack battle with Super Oleander, Raz sets the lungfish free from Oleander's brainwashing. When he hops back out of the lungfish's mind, Raz learns that the fish can talk, and her name is Linda. She informs Raz that she no longer has Lily, but she can take Raz to the location that she is being held captive. The location is revealed to be the Thorny Tower home of the Disturbed, an asylum that Lobato and a few other unfortunate souls reside. The first resident that Raz runs into is Boyd Cooper, the appointed guard who refuses to open the gates because there is some sort of conspiracy, and the milkman is the key. Yeah. Looks like this man needs some help sorting out his trauma, and Raz is the man for the job. He hops into his mind to find a very twisted reality of suspicion and misinformation. There are agents everywhere guarding your advancement unless you possess the same objects that they are holding. But hold on a second, I think I've seen these guys before. Did a Hat in Time's Caw agents get inspiration from the Milkman agents? That's a pretty cool tip of the hat if you know what I'm saying. So you make your way through the maze of Cooper's mind and eventually unlock the Milkman, allowing Cooper to unlock the gate in reality. After which he freezes in front of the door of the asylum with a Molotov cocktail in hand. Yeesh. It is here you find a few of the campers' missing brains which you must collect. And then on to our next asylum patient, Gloria von Guten, a fallen actress who is struggling with her fall from fame after a harsh critic ruined her career, along with a few other internal conflicts. You bring down the critic of her mindscape named Jasper by exposing his lies and bringing them to the light, which literally involves shining a spotlight on him and beating him up. Once Gloria's mindscape is sorted out, it's on to patient number 3, Fred Bonaparte, who apparently is a descendant of Napoleon, but is not quite as ambitious and lacks in strategy. But he still has a Napoleon complex he needs to overcome. His mindscape plays out like a game of Risk or Catan, I'm not sure. But it's a game of strategy. You must recruit an army to defeat his inner Napoleon. Pretty simple. With that sorted out, it's on to our 4th patient, Edgar Tegley. He is a painter and a wrestler who is struggling to move on after a major heartbreak. In Edgar's mind space, you must collect playing cards so he can build a card tower to his lost love. But there is a bull patrolling the streets, so you must be crafty and use paintings to advance down the alleys. Once you find a card, you fight a boss dressed like a lucha fighter. When you gather all the cards, it is revealed that Edgar's love left him for another man, and after the fight, he realizes he's better off without her. Back in reality, you come across an orderly who is guarding the elevator. He is extremely nearsighted and almost mistakes Raz for Dr. Lobato, but he realizes his mistake and refuses to let Raz on the elevator. Raz then realizes the rewards each patient offered him can be used to disguise himself as Lobato. It works, and Raz is able to make his way to the top of the tower of the asylum. Once he reaches the top, he finds Dr. Lobato, who doesn't really seem to notice Raz, and also finds Lily, Milla, and Sasha and Dr. Lobato's assistant, Shigor. And oh my god, so Tara Strong voices Shigor, and she's mostly known for voicing Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls, which is really cool to see her in this game, but this shit makes your ears bleed.
Nothing better on a cold night like this than some boiling hot soup.
You need Mr. Pokey Opener!
Oh, okay. You sure?
No! I mean, yes!
All right. Oh, why don't I just go ahead and heat you up a cup? It's made of turtles! Turtles that you love! Isn't that right, Mr. Pokey-Love? Okay. Well, maybe I'll just make some for myself. Bring me a good brain!
Jesus Christ, what the hell happened here? Shigor wants her pet turtle Mr. Pokélopes back from Dr. Lobato, who is keeping him hostage and using him to force Shigor to find brains for him. Using some cake, Raz frees Mr. Pokélopes, after which he finds that he is highly intelligent, like Linda the lungfish. He devises a plan to place his brain into Lobato's brain machine and rid the doctor by tossing him off the tower. It works, and Sasha and Milla are rebrained, and Lily is set free from her restraints. Oleander then appears. Milla and Sasha send Lily and Raz back down to the asylum courtyard to keep them safe from the fight. And well, I'll just play the cutscene because a lot happens here.
Finally! If that thing gave me a cowlick, Coach Oleander's gonna burn.
At least he never got inside your brain. It's going to take me weeks to get my rhythm back.
Rasputin, you have surprised us yet again. I cannot thank you enough for what you've done.
Hey, all in a day's work for a psychonaut.
Well, Psy Cadet, you mean.
Hey! The Psychonauts should be so lucky to get someone like Raz. The brain he's got in there is...
One in a million. Thanks to all of you for bringing it straight to my door.
Oleander.
You took all my friends' brains. You turned an innocent fish into a giant monster. You stole all the teachers, derailing my education. And you kidnapped my girlfriend.
Rasputin, this fight is too big for you.
Back home, I had to clean up after the elephants. So trust me, I know how to take care of this ugly little pile.
Kids, let the grown-ups handle this.
You tall people!
Sasha!
We get to kill him too!
Well, it's official. The genius is back. Time to go get ready for my Garrity show. Uh-oh, this looks bad. Ah, well, that's good. Someone must have turned off the gas long ago.
Oh, here's what my poor flowers need. A little water.
Oh no, I spilled all my turpentine and acetone.
Hey, Boyd! Long time no see!
Oh, Mr. Orderly, I did not see you there. I was just taking a little therapeutic walk in the moonlight.
Relax, the asylum's closed. We can all go home.
Leave? Here?
Yeah, this place is for crazy people. And I don't know about you, but I ain't crazy no more.
I have to tell you, I'm feeling pretty good.
You know, maybe it is time for us all to move on.
What do you think, Boyd? You ready to blow this popsicle stand?
The milkman has completed his route. You guys want to split a cab?
And the crib wasn't even that clean. I mean, what do I have to do to get those guys to take me seriously?
When are you going to shut up and kiss me?
I can hear that.
I know.
Surrender! Never!
The Psychonauts have a word for people who turn on their own.
Ha! I don't need the Psychonauts anymore. I'm making my own army. Got a word for that?
Yeah. Gesundheit!
Wow.
Wow. was my fight. I was ready for that one.
Always in such a rush, Rasputin. It takes years before you're ready for combat of that magnitude.
Well, you'd be surprised, Nine. This one's been acing all my extra credit exams.
I beat the coach once already, and I can do it again.
Darling, that was just a remote projection of the coach. He wasn't as strong as he would be if he were to appear in the real world.
TV? TV?
Where's his brain?
Oh, probably stuck in one of his plans to take over the world somewhere.
Hey, how's the weather down there? Ah, finally. Alone at last, eh, Rasputin?
Glad you're finally picking on someone your own size.
Yes, I've been dying for a chance to pick your brain!
Two can play that game.
Yeah, but only one can win!
So yeah, we have to fight Oleander in his brain tank. Once defeated though, Raz gets sprayed by super sneezing powder. Using his psychic powers, he throws his own brain into the tank with Oleander. Here we find that Raz and Oleander's memories and mindscapes have fused together, and Raz must escort a young Oleander through a nightmare world of daddy issues. This section is platform heavy due to Raz's circus upbringing, but honestly was one of my favorite parts of the game. You face off against a large butcher representing Oleander's father, and then you must go through a platforming gauntlet to overcome Raz's representation of his father. After which Raz's actual father breaks into Raz's mind and reveals that he too is a powerful psychic. And the reason he had Raz train so hard at acrobatics is because his family has many powerful enemies after them. Giving Raz all his psychic powers, Raz is able to form a large psychological projection of himself, and he faces off with the most monstrous fusion of both Oleander and Raz's father. With the fight won, Oleander and Raz's mindscapes separate. Oleander's inner demons are worked out, and he apologizes for the damage he had done. Raz becomes an official Psychonaut, and they are abruptly given a new mission. It seems Lily's father, Truman Zanotto, who is the head of the Psychonauts, has been kidnapped, and they must set off to find him. I gotta be honest guys, I slept on Psychonauts when it originally released, and I'm not sure why. These platforming collectathons are my jam, and this one in particular is fantastic for its time. There were very little camera issues, and the platforming isn't frustrating, it's actually quite solid. The things you collect throughout the game aren't pointless, they actually help you upgrade Raz's abilities and unlock others. The characters are memorable, and you end up feeling a bit for them when you unravel the troubles of their minds. It's also wild that the characters themselves are the levels of the games. I mean, what a cool concept. The game's sense of humor and dark cartoony aesthetics meld well together, and it's hard not to love this game. Gameplay-wise, there isn't much to hate here, aside from a few collision issues I ran into in the form of getting stuck in an infinite fall and you can't jump out of it, causing you have to reload the game from the last checkpoint. And a few times when the camera has a seizure, but honestly that's expected in this type of game, so I really can't dock it there. The boss fights are varied and use different combinations and abilities to overcome, causing you to think on your feet and work to find the right match for each encounter. None of the boss fights are so hard that it seems like they're impossible to defeat them, but they give you a good challenge to overcome and you feel accomplished once you've bested them. The abilities themselves are utilized well and none of them are overused. The only one I found pointless was Clairvoyance, because you use it in the Milkman chapter and on that boss's level, and then you never use it again after that. The story is where the game shines the most though. Every part of it keeps you curious to find out what's going to happen next. It'll get you laughing at all its craziness, and it tackles mental issues in a humorous and not demeaning way, which is really nice to see. So yeah, if you haven't played Psychonauts yet, do yourself a favor and play it. It's available on so many platforms now, there's no reason not to. I played the PC port for this video just for ease of recording and graphical upgrades, but this game still looks great on original hardware back in the Xbox and PlayStation 2. I get why this game has such a cult following and why the anticipation for the second installment has reached all-time heights. So let's hope we don't have to wait much longer to join Raz and the agents in their next big adventure. Thank you for watching the video everybody, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, share, anything that'll help us grow this channel. I've been Phil, this has been another Rigged Spotlight, and I will see you in the next one. And it's going to be pretty close to Halloween, so things might get a little spooky. See ya!